Okay, it's been 3 months, 3 weeks, and 1 day since my revision surgery. And there's good news. Since seeing the doctor, the surgeon who did the surgery, what's happened, everything looks good. He was really glad that how much fat was put in there. It's actually stayed plumped up, and the fullness I have in my labias are really good. And dilation's going good. And since all that swelling's gone down and whatnot, talked to him about changing my dilation schedule, and it's gone down to once a day instead of twice a day for 30 minutes or 40, because sometimes I do a little bit longer. So he's saying 30 minutes, 40. Starting out at one day, do one dilation, the next day do two dilation, and so on and so forth until I get down to one dilation a day. And I've gotten down to one dilation a day, so yeah. And haven't been having any real issues with dilating once a day. It just feels a lot more normal, dilating less. The dilator just seems to go in easily with minor discomfort. It's just my labia where I feel a little bit discomfort, but then goes away within a minute. So yeah. Other than that, I'm having that pain still. It switches from, it's random when I'm having the pain, and it's not every single day. That pain, like, the best way I can describe it's like being kicked in the testicles, or too much pressure put on the testicles, and it causes that discomfort up into the cavity. He sent a message to the urologist, the urologist that deals with the surgery, and I have an appointment set up to have that checked, because they're saying, because the surgeon, he was saying, it's the spermacetic cord pain, which it's, that cord is called the vas deferens. So that cord, hopefully that's not what it is. Hopefully it's just healing, and or it could be because I have in the mons pubis, where that cavity is, up in that area, I have a little more fat than what I had before, and that could be part of it, I've noticed. But have that appointment set up to see the urologist to get that checked, because it's the left side is where I feel it the most, rarely the right side. So yeah. Other than that, everything is much more functional, I've noticed, as I mentioned before, in terms of my labia are able to swell up sexually, the labia minora, so that's good, and the labia majora, it's like it swells up sexually. And yeah, and I've noticed dilating less. I'm having less issue with buildup in the vaginal canal. So going down to once a day, I'm not noticing that buildup like I was having a lot more than before the revision. So that's another good thing. So yeah. Everything just seems more normal and feels more normal. So that's good with it. Other than that, with the hormone difference since the initial surgery and the revision, my body's still going through changes. The most recent change I can think of, changes I should say, I'm still losing a little bit of leg hair here and there. Not like dramatically where it's noticeable, like hugely noticeable. Just here and there. But the biggest change that's actually happened, how I've been mentioning, that my breasts started growing again, and we just have to see what happens. Well, I've gone up a cup size since revision. I've gone up a cup size, which with initial surgery, it's estimated 1 to 2 cup sizes. You go through a secondary growth, and it's really estimated about 1 to 2 cup sizes with that hormone difference. So I went from, since the initial surgery, went from a 32 triple DF American sizing to a 32G last year, and now I'm a 32H is what I fit in. So yeah, the best way I can show is this is pretty much, that's the best I can really show what they look like. So yeah, and my thoughts and feelings on it, how I said that a 32G is perfect and I don't want it any bigger, but if it does, then it does, and I can't really control what happens. What happens. Well, I've been noticing, it's the weirdest thing I notice with myself. I can't speak on anyone else's experience, but my experience, I've noticed every time my breasts go up a cup size, it feels normal. It feels right. It feels like the correct size every time. It's like after I got to a triple DF, it's like it felt every cup size. Since then, it just feels like the right size. So it's like, the way my body looks, the size, like the fullness, the volume of my breasts now, it feels 100% right where they're at. And where they're at now, I feel like they're pretty much perfect almost. It's just that little bit of fullness that's needed. In the left side, it's the left bottom part right through here. Other than that, I'm finding them more perfect where they're at. So hopefully it quickly gets there. Other than that, just find that very interesting how I feel about it, because it's like when I was a 32G, I was like, this, I don't want to be bigger. The size is perfect. But then I go up a cup size and then I realize, oh, it's the fullness. Because even though I was measuring, my bust was measuring 40 inches when I was a 32G, it was the fullness in certain spots. It was lacking to be the size I am now, because I still measure 40 inches, but it's the fullness is what's made me a size, like a cup size bigger now. So yeah, it's the fullness is what my body was lacking, and that little bit that's still left, I just don't want to go above 40 inches, because right now it feels perfect. My breasts feel perfect for me. The other issue is I have scoliosis and kyphosis. And during the research I've done, it's estimated that a 32G, each breast is 2 pounds. So when you add more weight, it's not fun when you have spine issues. It can also cause other issues like neck and shoulder and back issues. But with my kyphosis and scoliosis, it's not comfortable, I can say, having those two conditions. But when having more weight on the breasts, I know how that can affect it. So I really don't want to be a size bigger, because that's like one of the main issues. The other issue is trying to find bras in a cup size bigger is extremely hard, especially when you find them that actually fit all the different colors and cute styles and stuff. Is more impossible to find. Just in my size now, I'm having a difficult time finding certain colors too, like red and white, I can say, or two of the colors. But other than that, I haven't really noticed any other physical changes with my body. One thing, at my last appointment, I was weighed, and my weight is at 143 pounds now. I know that that's part of what's contributing to the way my body is, the way it looks. So yeah. Other than that, I have to just wait and see at my next appointment. Hopefully, don't have to have surgery to have the issue fixed. Hopefully, nothing bad's going on, because I don't want to have any more surgeries in my life. I've had the surgeries I've wanted. It's like before I transitioned, when I got to before that certain point in my life, I was like, I've never had surgery, I never will. But then I got to a point in my life like, I can't really say I never will, because you don't know what will happen. Because back in 2006, I got to a point where it's like, I have to have a doctor do the surgery so I don't bleed to death. And here we are, from 2006 to now. Yeah, 2023, and had gender confirming surgery and revision to the gender confirming surgery, and everything feels perfect down there for me. And the way my body is now, because of the surgery and the hormone difference that's come from it. So other than that, have to wait and see where my hormone levels are with my doctor's visit that's going to be coming up soon. With my doctor that prescribes my hormones, and see what she has to say with everything. with having the revision and where my hormones are at and how my body's still going through physical changes. Yeah, see what she has to say. Because my next visit isn't an in-person visit, and it's usually how it works now since having the surgery. I see her once a year in person, then 6 months from the in-person appointment, it's a telehealth because I don't need to see her to get everything checked. It's only like once a year I have to get my hormones checked. Once a year, like my hormone levels checked. So that's really good because it used to be like at the start of my HRT, it was every about 2 to 3 months. And it went from every 2 to 3 months to every 6 months. Then it went to like once a year, but then it went back to about like every 3 to 6 months with the hormones being switched around due to where my levels were at the time, to now not having that testosterone, extreme high testosterone, and just being on the estrogen and progesterone. And having that surgery, it's just once a year I get everything checked. So that's where I'm at with that. So my next appointment with her, it's not next month, but the month after. Or is it next month? But anyways, when I see her, I'll get that checked and see how everything is there too. So my appointment with the urologist is next month on the 26th. So, yeah, we'll have to see then about that too. And pretty much, from my experience, I can't speak on anyone else's who's gone through all this. I don't regret it. I'm happy with it, with everything. I don't regret one thing with my transition. I'm a lot happier, more comfortable, and I'm healthier because of it. Having so much less issues, like less, sorry about that, less urinary issues, less having no spontaneous orgasms anymore, no urinary issues like I was. My overall health is much better, and I feel so much better mentally and physically. So, based on my experience, all I can say is while you may or may not hear about what other people say about trans individuals, surgeries, and whatnot, we will regret it, or we won't regret it, or it's just a phase, or any other crapola like that. From my experience, it was worth every bit of it. So, yeah. Other than that, nothing else is going on. So, until my next video, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And until then,